words, or maybe 4 words, don't really coincide, do they, John?
Which ones?
Professional Pride, Gordy Coswell.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. We're at Professional Pride Realty. Pete Mergens is with us, and he had that contest he told us about a few weeks back concerning the elementary schools. I'll let Pete explain. Thanks for having us again today, Pete.
Thanks, Gordy. The contest you're mentioning was our Heroes for Education contest that we had our 4th annual event here at the Home and Garden Show, where we asked kids in our school district, kindergarten through 5th grade, to draw their teacher in the classroom setting, and then we had the people at the Home and Garden Show vote on who did the best job. And so this year, I am happy to tell you that Rebecca Perez of Greenville Park Elementary School, 4th grader, won first place, and her classroom got $500 as a nice gift from us.
Yeah, they could use that towards supplies, or?
Yep, something to benefit the classroom specifically. So we're pretty excited about that. It turned out really well.
Have they told you what they're going to earmark?
We haven't heard yet, but I'm sure they'll be letting us know shortly.
That's awesome that you do that, Pete. It really is.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's our pleasure.
Of course, you have a lot of artwork to go through. Are you one of the judges?
No. The people at the Home and Garden Show actually vote specifically, so whoever gets the most votes. I think we had 56 kids submit a drawing, and I think the first place, I want to say off the top of my head, was 26 votes she got out of, I think, 250 people voted. So kind of exciting. We also recognized second and third place. Second place was Hein Chung from St. Dominic's, 4th grade, and also Alvaro Martinez from Greenville Park, 4th grade, got 3rd place.
Cool.
So kind of fun.
Sounds like it. So it was a successful expo?
It was. There was a lot of people there. I know we had in excess of 600 people, somewhere in that neighborhood. 770 to be exact. So yes, I would say it was very successful.
Probably the most successful ever.
I would say so, yes.
So it keeps growing. We have the superintendent of the Northfield schools here with us today.
We do, and I'm excited to introduce him here.
When I was a kid, I wanted to avoid the superintendent's office, but today the office comes here to Professional Pride Realty.
And really happy to be here with KDHL and Power 96 today. I'm Dr. Matt Hillmann, the superintendent of schools here in Northfield, and thanks for inviting me today.
Yeah, isn't that awesome that Pete does that for the school district?
You know, one of the things that we're really proud of serving Northfield is the level of engagement of our community, and folks like Pete and Professional Pride Realty reaching out to our schools and inviting our kids to be part of the larger community. And so we really appreciate Professional Pride doing that contest and all of the other great businesses in Northfield that do the same kind of thing in terms of support for our students.
And you get a lot of support here, don't you?
Significant. It's we kind of half joke it's a special place, but it's very true because in the DNA of Northfield is supporting its youth. I was just at a meeting this morning with a Healthy Community Initiative looking to raise some funds for some really great after-school program and other kinds of things that where the school can't always have that reach outside of the school day. Todd Bornhauser, Executive Director of Chamber of Commerce, was there with us. And 120 people, came at 7 a.m. on a pretty rainy Wednesday morning to show that they care about kids. We had a wonderful speaker, Ray Andrade, who's a graduate of Northfield High School, first-generation college student who took advantage of a number of the programs and services that are offered, not only through our school district, through the Torch program that we have, tackling obstacles and raising college hopes, but also through a number of the programs from Healthy Community Initiative. And again, an immigrant student, he and his family, he's the first to go to college, graduated, he's gainfully employed as an engineer, and they're paying for his master's degree. So that's the kind of support that kids in Northfield get, and we're really proud of our business community and all the folks who really engage in making sure that kids have what they need to be successful.
All right, we're going to take a break, get our opening market report, come back and talk more about what's happening in Northfield here at Professional Pride Realty when AM Minnesota continues. Yes, we are at Professional Pride Realty, where, by the way, this Friday you can pick up trees for free. Free. I always say free is the best four-letter word in the English language other than love. So free These trees are absolutely free. You can pick them up here at Professional Pride Realty. They're our site in Northfield, so we appreciate Pete for doing that for us. Like I said, they're free. They're going to bring the trees here on Friday. The hours are 3:30 to 5:30. Trees are provided by the DNR, distributed by Rice County Master Gardeners. White pine, white spruce, white cedar, tamarack, butternut, bur oak, red maple, silver maple, wild plum, nannyberry, and pollinator packets also will be available. We want to preserve those pollinators, don't we, Superintendent Matt Hillmann?
Of course.
It's kind of an educational tool, too, here, as I see it.
And Northfield has quite an active community of folks who are supporting pollinators. As a member of the Northfield Rotary Club, we've had a number of presentations about pollinators and how important it is. And again, that's just a great thing about living in Northfield, people who are forward-thinking and really will embrace any kind of problem that they see that they feel they can make a difference for. That's what I love about living and working here in Northfield, is that it is a community of difference makers and people who are willing to do the work to make a difference, which is important.
Now, I don't know if you were going to mention this, Dr. Hillmann, but when I told you that Todd Bornhauser was here today, what was your reaction?
Awesome.
That's what he said. Honestly, Todd, he said awesome. Anytime he can be with Todd Bornhauser, he loves it.
Well, and I know we're having a little fun there, but the truth is that the Northfield Chamber of Commerce and the school district, we have such a great relationship. I have a chance to be an ex officio member on the executive board, and again, what we see is that partnership. There's really a spirit of partnership all across Northfield. And so we really appreciate the partnership with the Chamber of Commerce and with a number of other organizations, because a lot of communities, I think, people look at it in terms of silos. We're going to do our part over here with, convention and visitors. We're going to do our part over here with the business piece. The school, we're going to take care of our stuff. The hospital, the city organization. But what we've really seen are folks reaching across those traditional and proverbial silos to say, how can we help each other out? Because we realize that we are all in this together, and that collectively we make or break our community. And again, that's one of the wonderful things about Northfield, is that we have problem solvers. People see a problem, they activate, they know how to do it, they know how to make sure that they address it, and they don't get down if you don't get immediate results. If the results aren't there immediately, we regroup and we say, what can we do next to try to make a difference? And so I think it's organizations like the Chamber of Commerce who are really a great ambassador, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, who bring a lot of folks to town, really trying to push the envelope about what kinds of things can we offer for Northfielders, and conversely, what can Northfield offer to people who want to come and live and work or play in our community. And so it's a great partnership. And I know with doing your, I think it's a semi-monthly show here a couple times a month with Professional Pride Realty, I'm sure you've seen that ad nauseum here, but we will never miss an opportunity to say it out loud.
You shouldn't either. I mean, it takes a village, right?
And it's a little bit cliche, but the truth is that that statement is incredibly true, and Northfield represents that.
It certainly does. So, Todd, now that your head's able to fit in the room, I hope.
Wow, I finally get the mic. It's hard to believe that it's been this long before I got hold of this thing.
Sorry about that. Anyway, you got some information that you want to pass on.
Well, absolutely, and I will say I wish I could afford to pay Dr. Hillmann to be on my staff, because it's a ringing endorsement like that makes it so much easy. But he makes it just a couple more dollars than what I have available. So, but I really appreciate. We've seen it over the last couple of months with both the girls and boys captains of the hockey team here. The quality of students that this school district is able to produce, and so we appreciate as well from a business community as well. The great education, the great commitment to this community, and the students that come out of that and then get reemployed back into this community as well. So we're very, very fortunate to have, I think, one of the finest school districts in the state
and the country
located right here. And I've got 3 kids, and all of them have been challenges in one way or the other, and have had great success because of the education and because of the support of the teachers that they had over the years. So.
And it's big. In the chamber, we were chatting off the air about how big it is with business, and not just real estate, but all businesses having good schools.
Having good schools is critically important, obviously, from a housing standpoint, but also, we have great connection with our local business community and support. So, many of our smaller businesses that are hiring, students as employees throughout the year, during the summer. We've got just some great successes there, and so we're very, very fortunate. We really love. It's great to have an outstanding school district. I've been to other communities where that is not necessarily the case, and I'd much rather be on this side of it. So, and sometimes we kind of forget about our local school district when we talk about education here, of being blessed to have not one but two outstanding colleges here. But it all starts from the beginning. You got to build it from the ground up, and so they have the cream of the crop that they're able to pick out of from students that leave, graduate from the high schools.
And St. Olaf and Carleton always in the U.S. News and World Report Best Buys of American colleges. So,
and when we get those rankings of best place to retire, best place to raise a community, I promise you the number one thing that's driving that is the school district and the success and the rating that it achieves. That's what drives people to want to come and move into this community.
You have a special guest here today. I know a feature member of the chamber you want to talk about?
I do. Quickly, what we want to talk a little bit about is our National Tourism Week, which is and it gets culminated on May 9th with a luncheon that we do. And so I want to turn it over to our Director of Tourism, Lisa Peterson, talk a little bit about that, talk about some of the award winners that are coming as well. So, Lisa, it's all yours.
Thank you. Sorry. So we are going to be celebrating our Hospitality Excellence in Tourism Awards, and I have with me one of my award winners, and I don't know if she knows or not. So live on the air.
Wow, that's cool.
So Ariana Egger is the general manager of the Archer House, and she was nominated and chosen by our committee to receive our Excellence in Tourism Award this year. We also have a few other people from a couple other sectors of the hospitality industry. Aaron Lemke, who works at Fielder's Choice Tap and Table, won in the restaurant category. Catherine Howie, who currently works at River Valley Vision Center, was nominated by her former employer, Cynthia Gilbertson of Northfield Yarn, who just had raving reviews of her. She won in the retail sector. And then for attractions, Jean Callister Benson, who organizes events at St. Olaf, has won for her efforts in organizing their Christmas Fest, which brings over 10,000 people to town every year. So Ariana is with us today from the Archer House River Inn and Suites, and we just want to tell her that she just does a phenomenal job. And I have her personally on the Convention and Visitors Bureau board, and I have to say her knowledge of the hospitality industry and her insight is second to none. For somebody so young, she's young, and she just knows, and she just has this great vibe around her that you want to get to know her. And I thought that when I first met you, and it's just great to have somebody who's so engaged with the hospitality industry in Northfield and so knowledgeable about the hotel industry in general, that she just brings a lot of insight to our board and then our tourism efforts. So I want to congratulate you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. I'm honored. I'm a little shocked, quite frankly. What a wonderful surprise. But I mean, I wouldn't be here today with knowledge and everything without coaching from not only my team and efforts that my staff and then also the leadership development that I've had through Rebound Hospitality, Todd Beyer and Brett Reese and Jennifer Sawyer and all of everybody that's on that that's part of that has been a part of my growth. And so I have them to thank, and then also allowing me to be creative with my staff and also with the community too, and push me to step outside my comfort zone. That's been phenomenal. So thank you for for this and everybody. But it's just I feel very, very fortunate.
You didn't happen to go to Northfield schools, did you?
I did, actually. Yes.
Oh, that's for Italian.
Yeah, I actually was not born here, but I think since I've gone to Northfield schools from first grade on up, so I'd have to say I think I might be a Raider by now. Exactly. But yes, I did go to Northfield.
And you have kids in the district?
I do. I have two children. One is in first grade at St. Dominic's, and the other one he's 2.5 months old. So will be.
Wow. Future Raiders.
Yes.
Fantastic. So how long have you been at the Archer House?
I have been there since 2011. Started off as in housekeeping and kind of worked my way up from there, and just made a promise to myself I was going to be a sponge and kind of absorb as much information and knowledge as I could. And from there, just the growth continues, and opportunities the doors have opened, and I'm one just to leap through them. So
you have to feel lucky to have Archer House here in Northfield with the St. Olaf and Carlton and all the people that come to town, and I'm sure you get a lot of those people at your place.
Certainly, and it's the connections that you make from everybody outside of the community coming to Northfield and hearing their stories is something I look forward to. It's kind of that first drive. I've been in hospitality for years prior, but at the Archer House, it's really the first time that those connections could be made, where you have parents for 4 years that come and take a look. So those connections are great. And
you have a unique facility there.
We do, yep. So it's a boutique hotel built in 1877, and you can see the structure and everything in there. We've done modern renovations in there, but the quaintness of it is still maintained.
All right, we're going to visit more with our guests. We're going to take a little break here and hear from Professional Pride Realty, and then we'll come back.
Have you considered putting your house on the market but didn't think it was the right time? Get a jump on spring sale.
Well, we're back at Professional Pride Realty talking more. Pete Mergens has got the microphone now. And again, Pete, we want to thank you for being one of our sites to distribute those absolutely free trees.
Well, we're pretty excited about it. As you read off the list of trees that are going to be here on Friday from 3:30 to 5:30 out in our parking lot, it's pretty exciting for us to have people come visit us and be able to go home with some free trees.
Yeah. And I know you're a big outdoorsman, and that's why you're a big supporter of this.
Absolutely. The outdoors is something we all need to cherish. We only have one Earth here, and we need to find a way to take care of it. So, absolutely, if we can help, we're happy to do so.
Yeah, planting a tree, I can't think of anything more special than that.
Yep, it is. Luckily, people don't think about all the leaves they get to rake in the fall, but it's a good thing.
Well, some of these, the maples, you probably have a lot of leaves, but I mean, some of these, you may not have as many leaves to worry about.
You get to enjoy the beauty of their color as well.
So. And I like the idea of the pollinator packets, too, that are available.
Yeah, that's really an exciting thing that they're doing. It says 100 each of chokecherry, high bush cranberry, June berries, red osier, dogwood, and wild plum.
Wild plum sounds interesting, doesn't it?
Sounds like some good jam.
So, Pete, you get to sell real estate in a special community here in Northfield, as you've heard, and I was just going to pass along some information here I read on the wire about home prices going steadily upward in February. In fact, it's the highest it's been in a long time, and I was just wondering if the same's true here locally.
It is. We've seen our prices climb, but it's very segmented right now. The higher end of the market is still a little bit weak right now. We do have low inventory throughout, not just in Northfield, but in the Twin Cities as well. And the good news to that is it certainly makes it a good time to list your home and a good time to buy as well. There's just, unfortunately, not a lot to choose from, so you don't have a lot of opportunity to pick and choose. You kind of, when you find a property, you need to be aggressive about getting it. So the lower end of the marketplace, the first-time home buyer and townhomes, things of that nature, that's very, very strong right now.
Now, this says there's bidding wars going on for properties, which means it is a seller's market.
That's correct. yeah, we encounter it on a daily basis, which makes it kind of fun and exciting, but also somewhat frustrating because there's generally a loser in the deal when you have several people bidding over it.
Well, especially I'm thinking of the person who's never had a home, a starter home. They're generally younger people who are just getting into the work world. It's tougher.
It is. It's very complicated because it has created a high demand there, and it's expensive. So luckily here in town we are continuing to see homes hit the MLS every day. Yesterday on our local realtor tour, I think there were 9 homes that went on yesterday. So like I said, springtime, it's a good time to list your home.
So, Matt, is this, I'm going to assume, this is a growing school district, Northfield?
You know, we have grown by about 100 students over the last 18 months, and what's interesting is just a couple of years ago we had a demographic study conducted by Hazel Reinhardt, and Hazel's one of the preeminent demographers in the state, and she had actually predicted that our school district would decline by about 200 students over 10 years, and it had to do, there's a number of different calculations that they run, one of which, and I know Pete knows this, is that you know the average age of the single unit owner is above 50 years old in Northfield, and so that squares with what we've seen with a lot of retirees. However, the district has grown because of the reputation that it has, and also we also have a number of students who will open enroll or come from other districts, surrounding districts, to take advantage of the great education that we have in Northfield. And part of that is some of those folks would like to move to Northfield, but at the same time, the housing inventory is low. So many times we'll sign a non-resident agreement for a student coming from a nearby community where the parents will say, well, we're planning to move this fall, or we've got an offer on a house, or those kinds of things. So we are a growing community, but as Pete said, the housing market is tight, and people who want to get a chance to be part of our outstanding community and benefit from our school system, I think, are having a tough time finding the house that's right for them. And it's a good problem to have. It's also not such a good problem to have, as Pete has mentioned. So, again, Northfield, we've grown by about 100 students over the last 18 months, and we always like it when we outpace what the demographer thought. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. So, Todd, does this tell me that if I had some money, which obviously I don't, but if I did, would it be smart for me to be a developer and bring in some housing in Northfield?
You know, it would be great to do that. You know, we struggle a couple different things. We're somewhat landlocked right now, so we need to be looking at trying to find some additional land that either can be annexed in. The other difficult part, Pete can understand this as well, is when we had the housing crash, many of the small builders that had really extended themselves, and it cost a lot of money to put infrastructure in, curb and gutter and sewer. And when the housing market crashed, many of the smaller developers, lost out considerably. You know, when I was up in Lakeville, we had 3 home builders that, went bankrupt, with all their land going back to the banks. And as a result, it's difficult right now for builders to get financing to put that infrastructure in. So we've got to find some creative ways of how we open up some more land here in this community, and then also how we can finance so that we can get that infrastructure put in so we can start building. Because I don't think the builders have any problem of finding people to and getting building houses. It's actually the lots that are the struggle to find right now.
The land. Land's at pretty high prices now too, I would guess.
Absolutely. So.
Well, Pete, we only got a couple minutes left in the show. This half hour goes by fast, especially when we have a lot of guests, which this is awesome.
It's kind of fun. We have a full table here today and such good guests, so it makes it pretty good for you and I, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's easy for me. I just get to hand around the microphone.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity to do this every other Wednesday, so it's a lot of fun for us.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. We appreciate it. And again, that's Friday, folks. You can come get free. That's 4-letter word in the English language other than love, free trees right here in Northfield at Professional Pride Realty. You're conveniently located off Highway 3.
Yep, just north of Highway 19 on the west side of Highway 3. Everybody knows where the Quarterback Club is. We're right across the street from them.
Yeah, good food there.
And conveniently located next to the Chamber of Commerce.
Right next door. And Rice County Abstract is here, too.
That's correct, yes.
That's by design, I would guess.
It was.
Right next door. How convenient is that? That's pretty awesome. So, you've been busy, Pete?
Yes. yeah, things are very busy right now. So it's an active spring. The April showers bring May flowers, and they bring buyers and sellers too.
Right.
So it's a good thing.
So you heard Pete say, it's a seller's market, folks. So if you've been thinking about putting your home on the market, we're not talking just Northfield, right? We're talking Dundas, Lakeville, whatever. Contact you.
Absolutely. Please give us a call, 507-663-1100. We're happy to help.
All right. Thanks again.
Thanks, Gordy.
Appreciate it. Again, that's 3:30 to 5:30 on Friday. You can get your free trees here in Northfield at Professional Pride Realty. That concludes today's edition of AM Minnesota on KDHL AM in Faribault, Minnesota.
Thanks, Gordy. It is 9:59. News coming up next from ABC, then your Classic Country Middays on KDHL.
It's a Classic Country Midday